Yo, yo, yo! What's up, guys? Welcome back into the channel with me, Free Tip Scout, for an epic day because it's the Manchester Derby. And I'm a Manchester United fan, so we're going to be doing a watch along today at 3:30. So we'll scout and watch that game together. And hopefully, I will be able to watch the whole game without cowering in embarrassment because I'm not really that confident about how Manchester United can do this in this derby, but you never know. Anything can happen in a derby. So we're going to do a watch along in about, that game kicks off in about 3 hours, actually. So we have to wait a little bit of a while for that. But in the meantime, what we'll be doing is we'll do a little bit of scouting. So we're going to check out some players that have just been monster scoring this weekend in Sorare. I actually haven't had a chance to check them out, and I usually like to do that. I've just been super busy, so we'll spend some time as we wait for the game to start. We'll just check out some players, and who knows, we might even discover some players that maybe you don't know, maybe I don't know, maybe we've been completely sleeping on that are then going to be players that potentially could be worth getting involved in now. So lots to do, and do get involved in the chat as much as you can. If you are completely new to the channel, then a big warm welcome. You'll be able to find that after the end of the stream, the full stream's uploaded to Twitch and YouTube. Please make sure that you are subscribed to my Twitch and YouTube, especially YouTube, because I'm going to be having a bit of a push on there over the next few months. Certainly this week, I'm looking to upload my first video to YouTube, my first proper video, anyway, to YouTube. So do make sure that you are subscribed. If you don't know the YouTube channel, then you can simply type in the chat ! And then YouTube, like that. And it's then going to bring up my YouTube channel, and you can check it out there. Who have we got here today? Who's in the chat at the moment? Hello to Twisted Fortune. The good old Sunday streams are back. It's been a while since we've done them. We've had a few issues in the past couple of weeks to kind of do them, but it's good to be back with a watch along. We haven't done a watch along in so long too, so probably the best time to be doing a watch along. Yeah, how's everyone's game week going in Sorare? I don't think I'm having the greatest of game week, I'm not going to lie. I was expecting that we would come on today's stream and I would be in a better position so I could actually tell you guys on today's stream, yeah, it's going great, and like, this is how many points we've got. It's not really like that at the moment for us, I've got to be honest. We're not out of the game week entirely, but we've probably only got, at the moment now, a few lineups that could result in something. The MLS specialist, by the way, this actually went quite good. You can see the big problem here is that we captained Jan Gregus and he didn't start. I think if he'd have started, he could have delivered a really good score, but he was dropped to the bench, which is never what you want from your captain. But then we got a really good score from Stuver and obviously Herrera, and we're going to talk about him in a minute, because he's one of the best performing players so far of the game week. And then, of course, Messi's doing Messi things. And then All-Star Rare. This is a little bit annoying, but also not, because I knew going into this with the selections here that Pinares was a doubt. He might not start. And I also knew that Tapia might not start either, because Tapia is still trying to establish himself in the first team. So I knew that this was a bit risky, but I wanted to still play the stack of Católica. And we got the captaincy right, but these sub appearances here are probably going to hurt us now, because 295 is not enough to win a card in All-Star Rare. It says that we're winning one right now, but we're not going to hold on to that. We've only got, look, there's 67% of the leaderboard complete, and we have like a 18.5 point gap. We're not safe. We won't hold on. We really needed to get about 350 and above. Really good, actually, that Hervey Kofi. Look at that. Hervey Kofi really surprised me. Because you guys might remember if you jumped on the lineup building streams in the week, I didn't really expect Hervey Kofi to do that good. So that was part of the reason that I played him in this team where we had some like DNP or sub risk players in here because I thought that he probably would concede a couple here. But he kept a clean sheet and they won away from home, which I think is brilliant for Charleroi and obviously very good for Kofi, but it might just be a little bit wasted now. And then kind of at the moment, the Luton Town team is going to miss out, even though we got some really good scores. Look at that. It's not very often we can say that we got 3 decisives from our Luton Town players out of a team of 5, and we're still coming away with nothing. I mean, how unlucky is that? So Doughty finally turns up. Burke, who played instead of Oso, got an assist and done pretty good. And then Carlton Morris, who's in really good form, done well. We captained Ogben, and Ogben didn't start, but he came on for the injured Amari Bell. So, yeah, pretty frustrating that the one time we get so many good scores from our Luton Town players, we still end up missing a reward. And we've got a couple more teams still to play, so it's not like dead in the water at the moment. Like, this is still to play, so we've got these 3 boys playing today, and then this is probably done, although we weren't really expecting to get anything from it. I think a lot of my hopes at the moment are on this team. And you guys, if you was on the streams from the week, you will know that I was saying in the week that this team realistically does have the chance to get a podium in Champion America. Carlos Garces should hopefully do well. He's playing later on tonight. So I don't want to jinx him, but he's in good form. He's got a home game, and it's against an opponent that's not very good. And then these 3 guys here for Quito, they have a home game as well on Tuesday night, and they're also up against a team that are not really considered to do that well or shouldn't do that well. So at the moment, we could still win something really good. It probably will come down to whether these guys can deliver the scores that I'm hoping for. If this is the only team we get something from, then I'll be okay with it because this is a very, very strong team. Out of just before I forget, where is it? Our Cap 220 is still technically in contention. We captained Musa, and the Moose delivered with a goal. So these other 3 could still do something. But our Cap 240, look. Our Cap 240's done. Even though we've got 1 more player left to play, Victor Edvardsen DMP'd. I don't know what happened there. I don't know whether he's injured or he's ill, but he was expected to start. He's the main starter. He wasn't even in the squad. So I don't know what's going on there at all. But yeah, he DMP'd, and as soon as he DMP'd, I was like, well, he's probably done now. And then to make matters worse is that Auguste actually didn't start. So you can see that, look, he's got a decisive score of 25 and he's only played 18 minutes. So yeah, I think even if Edvardsen had started, this probably would have been done based on the fact that Auguste then was a bench player and Molon didn't do that great, which we didn't expect him to, but this is actually okay. This is great from Slovic, though. Look, it's the 94th minute, and this will be his 4th clean sheet in 5 appearances for Konyaspor, if he can hold on to it. He's not done anything really to deserve it. He's not made a save. But this is still a good record for him. All right, here we got him in the chat. We've got a few more in here, haven't we? Hello to Sorare Brokey Boy. Hello also to Grem. And also to Arthur as well. Sorare Brokey Boy says, put the wrong Hibs player in my Hibs stack. Boyle had a stinker. Unlucky, man. I probably would have done the same because I like Boyle and I think he's usually quite consistent. Lizoin of Cartagena DMP, and I sold Regis instead of him. Huge regret because Corchia did assist and I put Cartagena defensive while I could put Amiens defensive. Why did you sell Regis? I mean, the GOAT Regis, he's so good. Yeah, I'm not surprised that you are... I'm not surprised that you're slightly regretting that. Afternoon. This is having best weekend in a while. Graham says 14th in the Prem special, 8th in the Liga. Wow. And have both limited and rare thresholds. guaranteed with a card in rare likely and a few other rewards expected. It's a completely contrasting game week to me then, Graham. It sounds like you're doing amazing. Incredible stuff there, Graham. Do you have other teams that could still deliver for you as well? Or is that pretty much it? You're looking at those there that are going to deliver for you? I mean, sounds incredible. Certainly 14th in the Prem Special. That's going to give you loads of cash. That's a big cash reward, 14th. Hope you can hold on to that. Yeah, Hoyos, sorry. You're confusing me there, Arthur, by saying Moyos. But Michael Hoyos, yeah, Michael Hoyos came off the bench. I was gutted when I saw that Michael Hoyos was not starting. But the great thing with Michael Hoyos is that even if he doesn't start, he actually scores a lot of decisives off the bench. Now, he's not a bench player. He is absolutely a player that should be starting more. The problem with him is that the coach, for whatever reason, likes to rest him and likes to use him off the bench from time to time. So you can see that in the last year, he has started in 20, but he's also come off the bench in 11. If we look at his appearances from the bench, look, in 5 appearances from the bench, he scored 5 goals and 1 assist. So with Hoyos, it's a shame when he gets benched because you are then, of course, missing out on the opportunity for like more AA scoring and the chance for him to have more minutes on the pitch to get a decisive. But you also don't have to worry too much because he will often pop up with a goal. Look, you can see here in 28 sub-appearances across all teams, he has got 8 goals and 3 assists. So he's very effective from the bench, and he proved it this weekend. Who else we got? Volts21. Have you seen FTS Gymnasia's coach says he's optimistic for Morales' return this midweek? I haven't seen that, but thank you for letting me know, man. That's really good because I would like to use him in the midweek. Slovic didn't make a save, no. Hello also to Redor Dead 69. Twitch Gaming says, hey man, how was your Sunday? Pretty good. Yeah, pretty good. I'm really looking forward to this Manchester Derby game. And I want to get predictions from everyone in the chat. So what do we reckon the score's going to be between Manchester United and Man City today? Does anybody actually expect Manchester United to win? Because if you do, you're my friend instantly, big time. I even don't expect them to win. I really don't. I'm actually worried that Manchester United could get rolled over and it could be embarrassing like it was the last time. I hope not, but I never feel confident when we're going up against Manchester City. Graham still has teams to play projected first. Wow. And projected a top 20 in Challenge Europe. It's incredible for you. Have you checked Santiago Moreno from Portland? He's amazing. He is good. I know about him. Yeah. How's everyone else's weekends going and game week as well? Twitch Gaming reckons 4-0 for Man City, 2 for Haaland, 1 for Foden, 1 for Rodri. Probably. I don't want to agree with you, but probably, yeah. I would expect Haaland to score at least 1, if not 2. City winning 2-1 predicted on Pooky as well. Lovely. Red or Dead says he has 395 points in the MLS Special with a Seattle stack and Messi. Currently 65th and projected to finish 85th. Hopefully win a new season MLS card. That'd be lovely. Yeah, that Seattle stack is funny because if we just bring up Brad Stuver, for example, right, and then we bring up the game that he was in, this one here, like for a 0-0, they all scored pretty good for Seattle. Thomas scored really well. Thomas scored really good. Look at Roldan. The 2 Roldan brothers tend to do quite well. Alex Roldan scored very good here. Atencio's brilliant. I really like Atencio. He's quite young still as well. He's only 22. They have another youngster who... Where is he? They have another youngster. Hold on a minute. What happened to Nathan? Why didn't Nathan play? He played the last game, didn't he? Was he out? Yeah, he was out of the squad. He's probably injured. He's always injured, Nathan. He's a really good player, but he's always injured. And they do need to manage him as well because he's had some serious knee injuries over the last few seasons. I'm really happy that the Seattle stack played well for you, man. It came off for you. Bad game week again. Premier League could save it though, but everything else was shit. A load of DMPs and unexpected rotations, says Twitch Gaming. Hello also to AJ Techno. That's a long time since we've seen AJ Techno in the chat, so hello to you, man. Thank you for jumping in. And the Don's in here as well. Nathan was waiting on his green card being issued. What do you mean, Don? He played the last game, no? So he's already got... Surely he's already got a green card if he played in the last game, look. Unless it expired? I don't know. Didn't think that would be an issue for him. I thought that it'd almost be sorted. And he's been in the MLS for a while now as well, so unless it's expired and he then can't play, yeah, if it was something to do with that apparently, was it? It's not an injury though. Okay, well at least it's promising it's not an injury because this guy has really suffered with injuries, hasn't he? Over the last 2 years, look. He's done very well, but he's also been plagued with injuries. And that was the first thing that came into my head when I saw that he didn't play. I was like, oh no, please don't be injured again. But if you guys are saying he's not injured and it is something to do with his green card, then yeah, it's a little bit of a shame for anyone that did line him up. But hopefully he gets that sorted soon and he can return to the lineup because when he's in there, he scores very good. And he's now playing for a much better team as well. This level of scoring here was when he was at San Jose Earthquakes, who aren't even that good defensively. So now he's at Seattle, and they're much better as a team defensively. He will be able to actually get a lot more 10-point clean sheet bonuses, and then his scoring, believe it or not, can actually improve from that, which is pretty scary. So he's only £4.86 as well. It's only £41 in his rare. I mean, if I was not... I'm not spending any more in Sorare for like the next 6 months, okay? I don't really need to and I don't want to. But if I hadn't have decided that, then I would probably be looking at picking up Nathan in the rare if I could get him for £41.30. Why is he so cheap all of a sudden? Like one day ago, he was, okay, oh, this is the auction. Okay, this is the new season card. The new season card and the number 1 card as well. I mean, honestly, the number 1 2024 card for £80, basically, and his old season card, sure, it doesn't have a lot of XP, but that's really good, £41.30, and I reckon you could probably even negotiate with this guy. It's Satonio, so maybe not. But you might be able to send a couple of fodder cards over to him to then... Basically, the amount of cash that you then pay could potentially be less than £40. And I think that's really good. I think that's brilliant, actually, for this type of player. What is a green card? A green card is basically, yeah, a work permit. It's like a visa. It's basically like a visa. It gives you a right to live and work in that country, in the US. They call it a green card. There's a lot more hoops that you have to jump through to get a green card, but yeah. It's actually quite difficult to get as well, green cards. If you're a athlete, it's not. But if you're just like an ordinary person and you want to move to the US and you need to get a green card, good luck. It's quite difficult to get one. Nathan is in Brazil, finalizing his green card, so he doesn't count as an international for registration. Oh, that's the exact reason. Lovely. Cool. Very cool. This week, my forwards both scored, but the rest of the teams were poor. Josef Martinez and Esprilla for Portland. And then Redor says, I'm a United fan. I'm bracing myself for a whipping. Me too. It's so sad that we have to say that, isn't it? For like a Manchester derby, it's so sad that me and Redor as Man United fans are basically saying, like this could be embarrassing today. And I really hope it isn't, because I want to be positive and I want to back the team. But Man City are scary, and Man City are on such a different level to Man United. They have improved Man United recently, although, you know, they lost against Fulham, didn't they, on the last weekend? But they need to step it up today, big time. They need to step it up. On a good day, City will win 2-1. On a bad day, 5-0. And then Free Tip Scout, Peter Musa scored, but I'm sure you've seen it. I have indeed, yeah. I was watching that game, actually. It was weird, the goal he scored, because it actually looked offside initially, and they flagged it as offside, didn't they? But then VAR overturned it. So, yeah, who am I to complain on that? But initially, it didn't look like he was onside. But yeah, we'll take the goal. It's a good start from him. I'm glad he's off the mark early as well, Peter Musa. So yeah, so my teams are kind of okay. We're not really able to say, there he is there actually, Peter Musa. We're not really able to say at the moment that we're going to get a card award of some kind. The under-23 team, by the way, guys, this is the under-23 team. So the under-23 team is not dead and buried yet. We knew that Mashkick was not going to score good here. I have to be honest with you. I actually think this is a really good score for Mashkick, because away to Hajduk Split, I thought Mashkick was going to get a negative decisive there easily. I thought they would score 3 goals and he would just score shocking. The fact that he didn't and he only restricted them to 1 goal, I think that's really good for our team. It keeps our team in contention. Ryan Gilles, who we had to kind of loan in because Tony Fruck, who we really wanted to play, is out injured. Ryan Gilles didn't do anything in a 0-0, so that's a little bit disappointing. He doesn't tend to do that much anyway, Ryan. Like, he's been, since he's been at Hull, he's only really delivered like 1 really good score, and then the rest of his scores have been quite like mid-50s and so. This score, hold on a minute. Is this score correct? Why is this score right here? His score is 47.9, but then here it's coming up at 36.6. Why is that? It's a little bit low. What? What's happened there? He's got 47.9 there. What is he coming up as on Sorare? Because if he's got actually 47.9, then that's obviously better. And we'll take it. But he's marked as 37 there. Maybe he had 47.9, but then he's been opted down. But it's just not been updated on Sorare yet. Oh, that's true. Yeah, that could be true, right? Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's right. I always forget that. So Gilles is the midfielder, so we're not getting the 10-point clean sheet bonus, are we? Yeah, that's the point. So here, there's the 10-point clean sheet bonus. Yeah, good spot from everyone, because we're looking at him and he's classed as a defender on Sorare data. If we switch this to a midfielder, which is the card we've got, then he's then got a 36.6, right? Yeah, good spot from everyone. Hello to Mark Gork as well. Kosanu seems to be benched today, and Stanisic starts. Rumours have been around since yesterday. Well, there's our under 23 probably done then, isn't it? If he's genuinely going to get benched, then yeah, it's done. Even if Lang hits a perfect score of 100, we can't afford for Kosanu to be benched. So our under 23 has a chance to do something. But we really need now Lang to smash it. We need Kosanu to start and smash a big score. and Twitch Gaming saying that he's unlikely to be starting now. There's a rumor that he might be benched. And then Smolcic, we need him to deliver a big score. So we basically need everyone to turn up now. And even if they do, we'll probably only just about scrape a tier 5, tier 4, if they do. So fingers crossed for the under-23 team. I really want us to give out a card for the under-23 team. It's been so long. We've been really patient. Yeah, it's been a little bit frustrating. And yeah, look, Slovic did keep the clean sheet as well. Oh, what a shame. Look at this here. What a shame. If Victor Edvardsen had not DMP'd, we might have had a chance here to have still hit the threshold, but, you know, 122.37 points. We can't really do it. I mean, we'd need Jamiro Montero to get a perfect score of 100 in order for us to do it. That would be some threshold win to do it with 4 players and a DMP there, especially with all these crappy scores as well. Yeah. Okay, let's have a look at what I wanted to do is I wanted to have a little look at some of the players that have been smashing it so far this weekend. It's quite a good habit to get into. So if you're not already doing it, then I would recommend you do it, because it's a very good way for you to discover new players that you might not even have heard of before, that you could then start to look at. And if they've delivered one good score this weekend, you might actually then, from looking at them, think, okay, that might be a one-off. He can't really do it anymore, so I maybe need to ignore him. Or by looking at a play, you might think, okay, that's just one amazing score, but this guy is capable of doing that a lot more regularly. So we're going to run through some of the players that have been smashing it. Look, there's a load of them here. So it's a really good page to kind of just dive in and just start checking out some players. You can find this page by, let me show you. If you don't know how to find it, you go to, on Sorare data, you go to the game week, then you just click on any tab here, but we're going to click on pick scores. Okay. Actually, you can do that, but it's better just to do players. So let me do it again. Click on the games, actually. Might be a little bit easier. Click on games. Again, it doesn't really matter because they're all part of this Game Week Center. And then here, what you want to do is you want to click on the leaderboards here. No, you don't. You want to click on players. I have done this before, don't worry. You want to click on players, and then you want to click off the My Players Only, so that obviously then you can start to discover more players, right? Make sure, of course, that the game week is selected for the current game week too. It will take a little bit of like a few seconds to load in. And then you can also then just filter this by the leagues as well, if you don't want to like sift through the whole page here. So we're just going to have a little gander and just check out a few players that have been smashing it. Free Tip Scout, do you still have Corridor? Yeah, we have him as part of our under-23. We didn't play him in the under-23 today, though, this weekend, but I have him. How is your game week on UC going, by the way? I don't actually know, Twitch Gaming. I've not checked. You guys have no idea. I'm so busy at the moment behind the scenes that it's almost, I'm juggling about 1,000 things right now. I was up until 6 in the morning last night. And I'll probably be up until 6 in the morning again, doing stuff for the channel. So there's a lot going on, and there'll be a lot of things coming on the channel, on here, on Twitch, on Twitter. So yeah, I haven't really checked it, but here you go. We've also made a sale, I think. Look, we've got 263 Una. The last time we checked it, we had 65. So looks like we sold someone. At the moment, we've only had one player in our lineup that's played, which was Liam Gibson, and he scored really badly. We've got Kankava on the bench, who scored 154, but everyone else, I think, is playing today, right? Pretty much. Well, Sheffield Arsenal's tomorrow, but then the rest of the guys are playing today. So, yeah, this score is going to hurt us. I think this score will prevent us from getting top 25. even if the rest of them do really well. You never know. You can still do it, but yeah. I think probably our hopes to win a epic in the free-to-play league this week is probably done. In the tournaments, though, how are we doing in the tournaments? Yeah, tournaments at the moment, we're just winning 100 MGC. So it's turning out to be one of those game weeks, isn't it? Cards are cheap as crazy, man. I didn't expect MLS Limited to go for so low, to be honest. They're very low as well. It's a good point from Padu Goal. It's a very good point. And they're also quite cheap because of the fact that, one, there's this new format that was like announced not long ago. And so that's dropped a lot of the prices of cards all across the board, pretty much. And then, of course, with the new MLS cards releasing, that always saturates the market more, and then that always then devalues the older cards more as well. So, yeah, it's not too bad. Okay, most of your players are playing later too, just as for me. By the way, you have an epic from one of these leagues which were removed. I don't know. What do you mean? I don't know who we sold as well. We need to see who we sold. Let's have a little look. I don't know what we're going to do with the money as well that we've got. How much is it? We've got $13.15. Okay. Who did we just sell? Oh, we actually sold Dylan Levitt. Would you believe it? So Dylan, this was the guy that we won. Not won, sorry. This is the guy that we unpacked. We basically pulled from a pack on Friday. And it was a pack that we spent, I think it was like 3,700 MGC coins, and we ended up getting this guy, who, to be fair, was okay. I kind of wanted a better pull than that. And we sold him for 220, which I think is about $11. I think that's pretty good because Dylan, we sold him because he hit a 215. So maybe I actually undersold him. Yeah, I had him up for, I think, 11. But probably on the back of that, I could have maybe got a bit more money out of him. What has he... I don't regret it, though. I don't regret it. Like, it gives us an opportunity to go back and try and find... Yeah, look. So previously, he was kind of selling for 8 and 9 and just under 11. He did have like a really good sale here for 15, but he's largely been kind of a 10, an 8 to kind of 10, 11 dollar player. You can see his price has been quite consistent with just a few exception sales. So I'm okay with us selling him for 11. Why, when someone wins a penalty, you only get the decisive when the penalty is scored? They're so dumb. Yeah, a lot of people talk about that. A lot of people mention that. Yeah. And if somebody if somebody wins a penalty, as you say, they don't get it unless it's scored. Yeah, it's weird. It's probably one of the things that they need to fix when they review the scoring matrix at the end of the season. Okay, I see you have 2. Check this post and the list. Yeah, I've checked that before. The buyback process, yeah. But when is that coming? Because I haven't seen the buyback process is live yet. And in that Medium article, they don't say an actual date. They just say that when they are close to announcing the date, they'll let everyone know. So when can we actually do the buyback process? Because as you say, I have a couple of players in here that I can effectively sell back to, yes, I can sell them back to the Ultimate Champions. I think it's this one here, isn't it? Nico Boxall, and then this one, Billy Koski. It's an update from 2 weeks ago. It's ongoing at the moment. Check the article. Okay, fine. I'll have a look at it afterwards. But yeah, I'm just waiting for the date. I'm waiting for the date. FTSY can't draft MLS for 220. Like when? You mean for the midweek? You can only draft. You can only draft for the MLS when the MLS Amateur is open. If the MLS Amateur doesn't open, then you can't draft for it, technically. So if you haven't drafted for it yet, then you'll need to wait until it's open again, and then you can draft. It will be open on Tuesday, yeah, for the weekend. So it will open so that you can then start lineup building for game week 4, 5, 7. That's what will happen. Hello to Beast as well. How you doing, man? Before we can come back and we can do this a bit later, where I might start looking for a replacement for someone like Dylan Levitt. But for now, I want to go back. So let's start with Aaron Herrera. So a lot of you guys will remember that I picked him up a few days ago for 82p. Look. Look at that. Tell me you know what you're doing without telling me you know what you're doing. We bought him for 82p, which I thought was an absolute joke of a price for him. And he's just hit a perfect score of 100, and a lot of people have now clocked on and are thinking he's amazing. He's always been good. A couple of seasons back, he had the most amount of assists out of every player in the MLS, right? And he's a defender. He had the most amount of assists about 2 or 3 seasons ago. He's very good. Really, really good. His price has rocketed up. And he's only played 2 games for DC United, and he's got 2 decisives, so 2 out of 2. And his AA here of 50.38. He's very capable of doing that from time to time. Look, this score here of 98. Look, 62.6 here. We go back even further. He is the type of player that can do it. Look at these massive scores over here. His upside is huge. He's almost like a Claudio Bravo type player. Look, where's another big score? Here we go, 50. 50 in his AA here, right? 33 here is not bad. Another 33. 43, 40, 40. Really good player that gets involved in attacking returns and also just has very, very good A. So this is the type of player that everyone almost should be trying to have, because he has a low L15. He's a regular starter. He's only 26. He's playing for a decent team. He's got very strong decisive threat, very high AA, basically everything you could wish for, really, from a Sorare player. Hello to Beast as well. You can buy back already. Deadlines are the 8th of March. You can buy back already. Really? Right. Let's check it out then. Why am I missing all this stuff? Like, was that announced on their Twitter page? Because I follow Ultimate Champions on Twitter too. I always feel like I'm missing the important notifications from them. I'm going to check the article as well. Who do you think are the best MLS teams to target for the new format? I think actually there's a couple of teams that are usually quite good to target anyway. Like Columbus are, of course, really good to target. Let's go and have a look at this here. I thought Cincinnati were good last season. Yeah, this is from February the 15th. Ah, okay. So I did miss this then, because the last time I read about the buyback was here. So thank you, Twitch Gaming, for letting us know. All right, so we might as well have a read about this now. We revisited athletes' valuations based on your pointed feedback, leading to some price adjustments. We have slightly increased the values of many athletes at the lowest price, $3, to inject more distinction in pricing, minimizing the number at the $3 mark. Recent player transfers have been incorporated into our pricing strategy. The compensation blend will be 70% in UNA tokens and 30% in MGC tokens. You can view the definitive price list through our provided link here. Okay. And then this tells us how we can do it. So there's two paths, is there? Okay. So path A, select for enhancement, choose an athlete card you wish to enhance, choose to burn, select any card from the specified summer leagues of the Versliga, Veckesliga, and the Besta Deldin to burn, and then execute the burn and boost on your selected cards to enhance the athlete card. Okay, and then path B is select to burn, pick a Summer League athlete card from the specified leagues to burn, choose for enhancement, select another card you wish to enhance, burn and boost. Carry out the burn and boost process on your selections, enhancing the chosen card. You can start burning right now, and each Tuesday and Friday, starting on the 23rd of the 2nd, we'll tally up the burned cards and allocate the corresponding UNA and MGC tokens to you. You can engage in the burn process up until the commencement of the 2024 season. Bloody hell. Yeah, we do need to get a move on then for the Versliga one, don't we? Okay, that's really useful. Yeah, thanks, man. It's so funny as well, right? Because I'm not kidding. Last night, I was actually... Where is it? Last night, I went on Ultimate Champions, and I went on this page here, and then I clicked on the medium, and you know what I done? I assumed that this was the article that I read, because I just actually thought it was this one here. But obviously it's not. It's the update. Okay. Let's have a little look at that now. I've never burnt a card before. So competition. These ones here, these three. And then we need to filter by epic. We don't have any. I thought we did. Okay. Yeah, so the Versliga, Veckesliga, and the Besta Deldin. But it doesn't look like we actually have any cards. But those are the three selected. Am I being dumb here? I don't think we've got any. We haven't got any. It says we don't have any. I thought that, well, Koski used to play, right? But he doesn't play there anymore. So I guess he doesn't qualify anymore, right? Have I bought kickoff packs from these leagues? If yes, you'll get compensation for it through an airdrop. I don't think I've bought any kickoff packs. No, I might have, but I can't remember. I mean, to be honest with you, for the Ultimate Champions, like this guy we won for free. I think the same for Village as well. Because these are not covered, I'm guessing they don't qualify anymore. Yeah. I mean, he's not covered at all. So he probably would have been a card that we could have burnt. and then done the buyback process with, but he's not covered, so that doesn't count. And then the same for Vilikoski, because Vilikoski used to play, I think, in the Latvian, not the Latvian. I think he played in the Finnish division, yeah. So he used to play for Honka over in Finland, which would have qualified. But now he's playing actually for Istra, which of course is covered in Sorare, but we can't burn him though. I don't think I would burn Vilikoski, because I actually think he's great, and I think eventually, who knows what's going to happen in Ultimate Champions, and who knows where he's going to move to, but he's only 22, so at some point in the future, he might be covered again. And I like him. I think he's good, so we'll probably hold on to him. Who was the other player that we could have maybe... Yeah, that was it, wasn't it? It was literally Vilikoski and then Nico Boxall. So Boxall I might end up burning to kind of top up the condition of one of the... Like, maybe Garuti. Look, Garuti's down to red. He's only a good condition. But I can do that later on. I don't need to do that now. Yeah. Yeah, but I think Vilikoski I want to keep, but Nico... I think Nico's moved back to Australia. I could be wrong. Let's have a little look. I thought he moved back to the A-League. Well, he apparently doesn't have a team. Because he used to play in the A-League. He used to play for Wellington Phoenix, but unless Transfermarkt have... Thank you, though. I really appreciate that. And for anyone else in the chat that might have missed that too, that's actually really useful from Twitch Gaming. Yeah, he's still a free agent. So to be honest with you, someone like Nico could end up joining a club that could be covered in Ultimate Champions. But he's actually the brother. Look, he's the brother of Michael Boxall. I didn't know that. I didn't know that they were related. But yeah, they are. Because he's a free agent, yeah, I could burn him, but I might burn him in the future. It depends where he moves to. If he moves to a club that's still not covered, I'll probably burn him, because he's 32 as well, right? Whereas Koski's 22, so I can hold on to him. Cool, okay. I mean, I think I actually had a lot more. In fact, I did. I had a lot more players that were... that are playing in like Finland or Latvia, but I sold them. I think I sold them, which is why I don't have any really to burn. Like I sold a goalkeeper recently, Jonas Kreidel, or Jonas Kreidel, if you want to say that. Bring up the page again. Is he out of the squad? Why is he out of the squad? Yeah, so look, Creedle I sold, and he's a card that we could have burnt. I'm actually happy that we sold him. Yeah, we sold him for $30, which I think was brilliant. And then... This was a long time ago. Then the only other one that we had that we sold recently was Lucas Grezak, but Lucas Grezak is a player that we wouldn't have been able to... Yeah, we wouldn't have been able to burn him, because he's playing the Slovakian league, isn't he? So cool, okay. Hearts is up 1-0 versus Celtic, and Celtic is down to 10-2. Oh, they're having a shocker. All right, let's go back here. Okay, so just looking at a couple of other players that have done quite well so far this game week. Suarez with a monster score of 100. Suarez is the type of player, I think, that if you could have picked him up when he was like dirt cheap, then that was the way to do it. Like around here, or maybe even before. Look, getting him for kind of, look here, around less than 20. There's absolutely no way I think I would be paying 40 for him. He's always one game away from a serious injury, but that's incredible. Did anybody actually line him up? Did anybody have a Luis Suarez and lined him up in their team? If you did, you're laughing. You're absolutely laughing, depending on where you played him. This guy scored 102, but he doesn't have a card. Danny Calvo. Danny Calvo with a big score of 100. This is really a good player, isn't it? How is this player like only £1? Like he has an AA of 17.5. He scores a lot in the 60-point range and above. And then with the potential to give you, look, these really big scores here. Because his AA is so good. Quite a good player for the current format, but also maybe not a bad player for the new format too. You guys tell me what players, just because all I see in the chat is Twitch Gaming at the moment, and I don't have a problem with Twitch Gaming, but I would definitely love to hear from more in the chat. What other players do you think have performed really well that we could bring up and talk about? I mean, we can see them here, like Areola, Brooks, Schlotterbeck, but why don't we do it differently so that the chat can get a little bit more involved? Why don't you guys tell me the players that have done really well for you? So like the player that has done amazing for you this weekend in one of your lineups, or maybe a player that has completely surprised you with how they've scored, and then we'll bring them up and talk about them. Let's do that. Because we could just, we can go through this and you guys can access this, right? But I want the chat to be a bit more involved as well. So AJ Techno says on Yeka. All right, cool. So Frank on Yeka. Is this a player that you own, AJ Techno? Hit a score of 63 with an assist there. You just won him. Okay. Are you planning on keeping him, or are you looking to sell him? What's the plan with him? I'm not a big fan of this guy, by the way. Like, I think he has his moments, but I'm not hugely bowled over by him. It's good that he got involved in like a decisive. I think one of the problems with him is that he's just very inconsistent because he doesn't start enough. So I think if I'd have won him, I guess I'd be tempted to sell him, but then he's also £1.90. It's definitely not the right time to be selling Premier League cards, but I mean, based off his L15 of 47, that is a good score. So if anybody did line him up in Cap 220, that's the way to do it. Demirovic, hidden gem. No one is talking about him. Let's bring him up. And then I bought Sokol Sikaleshi for 60p, nothing crazy, but a 61 for me, and Cap makes him worth a purchase. He's really good. I like him. And he joined, obviously, Konyaspor, and I think he's going to be helping them a lot to avoid relegation. In fact, they're very high up in the table now. I think that win today for Konyaspor puts them up to like 13th. There we go. So a lot of people were kind of saying that when I bought Slovic, they were kind of saying, well, why? Because he's going to get relegated. But this team is not going to get relegated. This club, They're too good, and they've made a lot of good purchases in January as well to prevent them, to turn things around, because it's not been a good season for them. And the guy that you bought him for 60p. I think that's an absolute bargain. Yeah, I do. He's a really good player. This guy here, I like him. He's a bit on the older side now, but you also get international utility from him. So he's part of the Albanian national team. Look, he's good. He's really good. He's got a proven track record as well in the Turkish Super League, which is one of the reasons why Konyaspor went out to buy him, because they need someone who can deliver them goals, and he can deliver them goals. So, yeah, very, very good. Let's go back to Demirovic, though. So this was the shout from Twitch Gaming. Do you have him? Is this a player that you have yourself, or is it just a player that you think is worth talking about because he is probably a little bit under the radar? His scoring has been great. Look at that. And then look at this here. In the last 40 games, he has 15 goals and 10 assists. That's absolutely outrageous. That is so good. And I'll be honest with you, I don't even think he's playing for a good team either. I don't really rate Augsburg. So for him to do that at Augsburg is phenomenal. There must be a few clubs that are turning their attention to him now. I mean, look. He's only 25 as well. Bosnian player. There's got to be a few clubs that are interested in him. Yeah, that's a really good shout, by the way, from Twitch Gaming. Ermedin Demirovic. Really good. Like, if he's doing this for an Augsburg team that are really not that great, then imagine what he could do around better players, a more attacking team. Very good shout. Yeah. He's less than £100 in his rare as well. I think he's overpriced in his limited, but I think he's very good in his rare. And he'll become cheaper too as we get closer and closer towards the start of the towards the end of the season. As it is, he's a starting player for now, but when Hickey returns, don't expect too much. Short term, who are we talking about here? Oh, okay. Few Brentford owners, Brentford Play Shopper expert right here as well. Who are we talking about? Who are we talking about, Justin? Thank you for jumping into the chat as well. Berardi, yeah, someone mentioned Berardi. Got injured. Yeah. It sounds like they rushed him back. It sounds like they rushed Berardi back. They should have probably given him more time. Because if he makes a return and he's been out injured, and then in the first game he then tears his Achilles, he wasn't ready. Okay, Mads. Oh, you're talking about Mads. Okay, cool. I want to have a quick look here at Demirovic. What other players can you guys give us that are, you think, worth us looking at? That have done really well this weekend too. Yeah, look, he came through Hamburg Youth Academy, then Leipzig. He's got a load of clubs to his name. So he's had a lot of loans, isn't he? But he's really started to deliver now. That's a good record. 94 goals in 274. Given the fact that, look, around 140 or so of those games have come for Freiburg and Augsburg. He only played for Leipzig in the under-19s, under-17s. He didn't make a senior appearance for them. And he played for Almeria as well. He was shocking. Done very well at Gallen. Look, 14 and 28 on a loan. And then also for Deportivo Alaves, 4 and 6. Are you going to be getting him at all, Twitch Gaming? Is this a player that you're going to be picking up at all? What other players can you give me, guys? I'm going to give you a couple of minutes. I'm going to get a top up of my drink. So I'll be back in 5. But in the meantime, please do put some player names in the chat of players that have done very well this week that you've either used in your lineups or that you've just got in your gallery. Maybe you didn't put them in a lineup, but you bought them and they're doing really well, because then we can come back and we can talk about them. But I'm going to be back in a couple of minutes, guys. So, yeah, don't go anywhere. And please do just drop a load of ideas and player names in the chat so that when we come back, we can bring them up and we can talk about them. All right, guys, we're back again. So, a big thank you to Titiro17 for the sub, man. Thank you so much for the support. Really appreciate it. Thank you, and welcome back into the channel. Let's run through a couple of other players here, I think. I haven't seen many other names in the chat, so we're just going to run through. This guy done very well, hasn't he? Oh my God. This guy is on like next level. An AA of 72.86. Wow. That is monstrous, really. He's a defender as well. He's a centre-back. Look at the amount of goals that this centre-back has delivered. Wow. That is mental, isn't it? Obviously, the problem with Russian players is that they're not minted. So you have to get them from the secondary market. But that's also a great problem to have, those managers that owns this type of player. His price must have been going through the roof over the last kind of 6 months or so. No way. I mean, it certainly is now, look. But there's not really been a big movement on his price at all. He was out for a little bit here, but look at this guy. Like, this is a AA of 72.86 and then an AA of 69.76, then 53 here. So we got the triple and the clean sheet bonus, and then he made 4 tackles to give him a score of 12 from that. His possession's incredible. He didn't lose a single duel. He won 12. He made 3 interceptions as well, which, you know, contributes towards the triple. My God. Ah, so he takes the penalties, right. That's why he's scoring a lot of goals then. Makes sense, because as a defender, he was scoring almost too many as a centre-back, but he's taking the penalties, so yeah. There we go, we solved the riddle. A lot of his goals are coming from penalties there. But over the last month, it looks like he's gone to another level. He actually doesn't make a lot of tackles per game. His tackles are quite low at only 0.9. So he looks like he's a defender that is really scoring most of his points from possession. Yeah, he's having quite a lot of the ball. He's being very accurate with his passing as well. He makes a lot of passes in the opposition's half too. 20.8. And 67% of those are successful. I think it's also his duels, isn't it? Because look, he's winning an average of 6 duels per game, and he has a mighty 75% win rate. Damn. That is high. Yeah, so he scored 6 goals for them last season, and 5 of those were his right foot. I'm guessing they were all well, most of them were penalties, if not all of them. Again, his tackles are kind of a little bit on the low side, but then look at how many duels he's winning, which is one of his strengths, isn't it? Look, duels here. Very good. He's a player that I would, you know, in many ways love to own, but I just would not be paying £50 for a limited, and I certainly am not going to be paying 333 for a rare. A bit surprised actually that there's not been more of a rush in the rare to pick up this type of player. It doesn't sell very often. That's brilliant. Yeah, really good. I want to keep an eye on this guy. Then we've got Mad Sorensen here. Edson Alvarez, Areola done very good. Matson again, doing very good for Dortmund. Doing very good for them, actually. If we bring up Matson, since he's been at Dortmund, right? That's his level of scoring, Matson, since he's been at Dortmund. that's really good. I bet Chelsea are almost kicking themselves that they've... I mean, to be fair, I think this is a league that's well suited to him as well. And it's a team that probably fits him better than Chelsea. But that's brilliant scoring. AA at 20.7, 65.6 is an average as well. And then a couple of decisives thrown in there. The fact he's hitting into the 80s and 90s as well, I think that's what I really like about him. Yeah, his AAs are a joke, aren't they? That's the thing. That's what's so good about him at the moment, is that he's hitting like 30, 20, 49, 51. Almost doing what Aaron Herrera's doing. But he's doing it a little bit more consistently at the moment than Herrera. Really good. He's less than £20 in limited as well, which, you know, again, to be honest with you, is pretty cheap for this type of scorer. He's also under 20. He's 21. He's under 23. Yeah, really good. Yeah. He kind of gets a lot of freedom, doesn't he? In the system that Dortmund are playing. And you can tell he gets a lot of freedom. I mean, his possession stats are pretty good. His attacking stats are good. Defensively, it's almost like all around. He's hitting these good scores in all these areas. Look. And it's another good score from him. It's a perfect score of 100 on the weekend. Sorensen, who doesn't really tend to do this very often, did do very well here. And Michelin playing at home against Copenhagen. Copenhagen are good. They're decent. They've got a big game coming up this week, haven't they, Copenhagen? In the Champions League against Man City. This guy here, who's really good, actually scored quite bad. I think he needs to up his game a little bit. This is not good scoring from him. He needs to get back to doing that again. He's a good player, though. Good prospect as well, because he's very young, still at 21. But, wow, this is actually a good price for him, £4. I mean, we say it's a good price for him, but we know in Sorare that could actually end up being quite expensive. But for this type of quality player, you would expect him to not drop too much more than that. He did get really low at one point, down to £1. This was when they were in their off season, so that was absolutely the time to pick him up. And then again, probably the other time to pick him up will be in the off season again at the end of the season. So you can see that his graph starting to go down a little bit. So at the end of the season, he'll then probably be around £1 again. Your guy was right. Stanisic starts and Kosanu is benched. Oh dear. Oh dear. So our under 23 team is probably dead then. It's probably done. Yeah, sorry guys. That's all we could do for the under 23. Schlotterbeck, there's no surprise that Schlotterbeck does 100. Ben Gibson hit 98.6. Really? Wow. He doesn't really play enough, does he? But you have to say over the last 6 or 7 games, it's really shown why he should be playing more. Look at his price, 54p. This is what I like about the football side of Sorare, is that you could have basically, if you're a budget manager, you could have lined up a Ben Gibson in your budget team, especially cap 220, right? Whereas L15 was really low. And then a 54p player can then hit you basically a score of 100. This is what is so good about Sorare. And this is what I love about the cap modes, is that there will be some players that would have, some managers that would have lined him up that, you know, can then just explode to that type of score out of nowhere and really surprise a lot of the other managers out there. Michael Nagadu's doing what he usually does, so is Tsunemoto as well. These two are really good. I really like Tsunemoto. He used to be like a go-to under 23 Asia defender when he used to play in the J League. He's not, of course, under 23 anymore, so this was a few years back. But if we go and have a look at what he used to do when he was playing in the J League, it was pretty silly, actually. It was pretty good. This was when he was about 22, 23. And we talked about him a few months ago when he joined Servette, and I said that he will continue to do some really good scores. And look at this here. He's doing exactly what we expected. Jean Fleming. Yeah, I think Jean Fleming carries any team he goes to. Even when he was at Fortuna, Jean Fleming used to carry Fortuna. Big time. Yeah, he's really good, Jean Fleming. Thank you, Twitch Gaming. We'll catch you a little bit later, man. Did he have a good scoring week, Jean Fleming? I haven't checked him this weekend. Yeah, pretty good. He's always been quite a very useful player as a forward if you have his forward card because of his AA. So these forward cards here are really good because he's that type of forward that has a really good AA game. 5.9 is actually a little bit low for him. Like he's actually better than that, but he's kind of struggled to deliver a better AA at Millwall. We take it back a little bit further. When he was at Fortuna, his AA was only 3.5. That is surprising because I often remember he used to deliver this a lot, the sevens and double digits, really. In the limited, I think he's really good value. Eric Sanchez, he done well. He's doing very good. I don't like the team he plays for, I've got to be honest with you. Pachuca. But that's incredible. There's no cards of him, though. That's the shame with him. There's no cards at all. If there were some cards available for this guy, he'd probably sell for a bit. Yeah, we just checked him out, Graham. We were just talking about him. Tsunemoto. we're just talking about how he was amazing. He used to be like the go-to under 23 defender in Sorare for a long time, a few years back when he was playing at Kashima. And then when he moved to Sorare, we were kind of saying, like I remember saying on a stream a few months back, when he joined them, I was saying, this guy's going to do great. He's going to do really good because he's very, very complete as a player. And he's showing that now in his scoring. Garassi with the 2 goals there. Nagadu, we know, is very, very good. This guy is really surprising me. I've got to be honest with you. Andres Gomez for Real Salt Lake is surprising me. We've kind of talked about him in the past before because he has this ability every now and then to pop up and do something great. The big kind of problem with him is that he hasn't really been, getting enough starts historically at Real Salt Lake, and you can see that here. But what you have to say is that in the starts that he has had, he's probably been quite effective. Look. Like 58 starts, 12 goals, 9 assists, and he's got an AA of 5.4. He's only 21 as well. So is this going to be the season, do you think, where he can start to bed down more of a starting spot in the team? Because I think so. From the looks of it, look. It's £5.15. Does anybody have this guy at all? Because I have to say, he's definitely been surprising me so far. Wow. That's a good score from him. Not really the type of player I think that you should be targeting, but that is good for him. It's good for Geordie Gasper as well. Ross Sykes, I nearly bought him. I nearly bought his rare when he was really expensive. I'm so glad I didn't. I actually got away with it a little bit because I remember, I think it was like a year ago, maybe 15 months ago, I offered a manager about, I think I offered the manager about £200 for the number 1 Ross Sykes card, right? Because at the time, Ross Sykes was selling for around that. And do you know what the manager said to me? The manager rejected it and said he wanted more money. I was like, nah. And I'm so glad he rejected it because now I can buy him for £21. But if we go back here, look, was it 200? Did I offer 200? Maybe 200 is an exaggeration. I think I offered like 150 though. I offered a lot because I really wanted the number 1 card as well. Yeah, the clever one, and he turned it down. What do you think about Alejo Velez? Why are you asking? Do you have him, or is it someone that you are looking to get? Because I haven't. I'll be honest with you. I don't really like Sevilla at the moment. I know that this guy's a youngster and he's not really playing, but he has played a lot in the past before for a different team. I think he's a good prospect. Like he's a good youngster. Just think it's a little bit difficult for this type of player to get any value out of at the moment because he's £6.50 and he's like £55 in rare. He's just not worth that. He's just not worth that at the moment based on the lack of game time he's getting. And the problem with this type of player is that you could pick him up and then just be patient with him, right? But we kind of know in Sorare that you can pick up this player now, be patient with him, and then in 3 months' time, he's probably going to be like £2, £1. So I think this is a good young prospect. I just don't think that anybody should be rushing to get him, because I do think you can just pick him up for a lot cheaper at the end of the season, and then you can sit on him then for like £1 in limited. Yeah, he done bring it up here for Tottenham. He didn't really get much of a look in, did he, at Tottenham? When he was at Rosario, he done pretty good though. Yeah. I was a little bit surprised actually when he moved. I'll be honest, I was surprised he moved to Tottenham. But I think there was also just Tottenham just trying to pick up a good long-term forward, right? A good long-term replacement for Harry Kane. And they wanted somebody that was highly rated from South America, and they got him. But yeah, it's just, he's obviously not going to get any game time for a while. When he was, because he got loaned out, didn't he, to Sevilla? Since he's been at Sevilla, I actually thought that he would get much more game time than he has been at Sevilla. I thought that was the whole point of him, like, going out on loan. But at the moment, not really. He's been confined to just a few sub appearances. But does his loan end at the end of the season? It probably does, isn't it? It's rare that a European player has it's rare that a loan goes over then a season. What do you think happens to him? Let me put the question to you, actually. What do you think happens to him at the end of the season? Because at the moment, with the lack of playing time he's getting, I mean, if this continues, then it won't really be that much of a useful loan for him. But then next season, do you think, as a Tottenham fan, do you think that you would want him to be at the club and to maybe be just coming off the bench there, or maybe getting a couple of rare starts every now and then? Or would you like to see him go out on loan to a different club that's then actually going to play him and develop him more? Like, what would you like to do with him, AJ Techno? You hope that he goes on loan to Argentina, do you? Why would you want him to go on loan to Argentina so he can probably get back to scoring so good again as he was when he was at Rosario? I'll be honest, I doubt that he's going to go to Argentina, or even on a loan, because I think Tottenham would probably, if they are going to loan him out, they'd probably prefer him to get experience in Europe. I mean, he's arguably the type of player that you would want him to be playing in the Premier League, but maybe for one of the smaller teams, right? But Tottenham would not like that. They wouldn't probably want to do that because they don't like to really loan or sell players to other Premier League clubs, right? It's not really a policy that they do. I mean, La Liga is technically quite a good, in fact, it's a very good competition for him. Probably just the wrong club for him, Sevilla. Maybe if he'd have been loaned out to like a smaller club, there with not as many great players, then he would probably be getting a lot more game time. So a club like Cadiz, for example, a club like Cadiz is still a Liga club. They're not very strong at all, especially in attack. So this type of player would have then been able to get first team experience in a top level league like La Liga, but would have been able to get more game time. Who knows? Maybe he still will get it. I'd like him to, though, because I thought it was exciting for Tottenham that they picked him up. But I also thought at the time that it's probably not a good move for him in the short term because he's not going to get a lot of game time unless he gets a loan that will develop him. Luis Vasquez is really good. Yeah. Luis Vasquez for Anderlecht is really good. Bring him up. Yeah. He moved, didn't he, from Argentina himself. He was at, I think it was River Plate, if I'm not mistaken. Boca, sorry. Boca. And initially, I'll be honest, right? Because I won him. Some of you guys might remember. I actually won his limited card. I can't remember what game week I won him in. Let's just bring it up. I won him, and I was really happy that I won him. But I also got rid of him because I knew that if he was going to be at Anderlecht, where's he gone? Where's he gone? There we go, look. Luis Vasquez. So we won him in game week 370. And I was tempted at keeping him. I was very tempted at just holding on to him because I know he's a big talent. But my kind of thinking was, well, he's not going to be getting a lot of starts. And to be fair, that's rung true, isn't it? He's not getting the starts, but he's still being very effective off the bench, especially over the last 3 games. That's incredible. So he's definitely knocking on the door and saying, look, you need to start me now. Like, because I'm doing what you want me to do off the bench. If you make me start, I could do more. He's a little bit overpriced, I think. He is and he isn't. I think a lot of his price is probably tied to the recent form, isn't it? Yeah. So when he was around here, I think that was probably quite a good price in limited for him. I think that £6 for a player that is not guaranteed to start still is a little bit too much. And I think the other big drawback for him at the moment is that this type of player in the new format, I don't think it suits him. So he can score really well, and if he ends up starting more, he has the potential to increase his AA. But this level of scoring, which is not really past the 60-point mark or so, is not really going to hold up that well in the new format, especially in the tier that he's going to be in. Yeah, he's doing great though. Do you have him? Do you own him? Mal, I'm guessing you own him if you're an Anderlecht fan, right? Like this is the type of player for me that I'd be really tempted to pick up in the off season when his value is really low. And I'd pick him up in the rare, of course. So if his price at the end of the season got to around £30 or so, less than £30, this would be the type of player that I'd be very interested in picking up. Because then I think for £30, you're investing in a young, promising, up-and-coming prospect. You're going to get a load still of under 23 utility, good utility with Anderlecht too, and then hopefully in the future, even if I just decide to use him for the cap modes that will pop up from time to time, you know, in the special weeklies, he will then still prove to be quite good in the cap modes. But hopefully next season, he can start to get into the starting lineup. I think it's difficult though for him because the system that Anderlecht play is mainly with the 3, like the front 3, right? And they have Dreyer, who's always going to play. Thorgan Hazard actually does quite well for Anderlecht. So it's almost difficult to not play him because you know what you're getting from him. Probably Kaspar Dolberg, even though he's been good, I think they probably need a little bit more from him. But probably if Kaspar Dolberg starts to have like a bad dip in form, like if he goes through this run, and I think then that might leave the door open for Vasquez then to start down the middle a bit more, and they just kind of drop Dolberg for a little bit. But I think it's difficult with the players they've got for someone like Vasquez to like break into that front 3, unless there's like an injury, suspension, or like poor form. Can't get now, but Anderlecht keeps looking strong next year. No, unfortunately, there are better forwards for low budget managers. If I had the budget, I would do it, but still build in. I agree. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, I think he's definitely a good player to look at when he's a little bit cheaper. But the £6-7 for him is too high at the moment. Hello to Cyborg Has. I made a Sporting KZ stack pretty cheap. It's not amazing, but it's all right. I like Sporting KZ because you can get a really good attacking stack with them of Pulido, Johnny Russell, and Daniel Shalhoub. I mean, the difficulty with that is that kind of they've all got like forward cards, so it's kind of tricky to play them all together. But I like that 3. And then you've also got Fontas as well, haven't you? Fontas at the back as the defender's really solid. He can post some really big scores. The midfield's okay. It's not bad, the midfield. Who are they? Are they playing? They're still playing. They're still playing Melia in goal, right? That's probably the one thing I don't like at the moment with the Sporting KZ. Melia is a good cheap option, and he actually enables managers to put a Sporting KZ team together really cheap because you get a starting goalkeeper for £5. But I don't like Sporting KZ as a team to target defensively. And the reason why, you can probably see it, is that they don't keep a lot of clean sheets at all. And in the past, and I'm sure it will happen this year as well, is that a lot of their games are very over 2.5. And that's really not what you want from any kind of defenders or defensive-minded players. But that's what's always made them quite an attractive team to target for their attackers, because then you kind of can target like the Shalhoub, Pulido, Johnny Russell. Walter's okay as well. When they had Gadi Ginda used to be quite good, but he's now moved back to Israel. So yeah, he's playing for Maccabi Haifa now. But he used to be good before he got injured. But yeah, it's a weird one because this guy's actually pretty good. This guy is actually pretty good because this guy is kind of like the longer term replacement for the Juji, isn't it? Graham Juji. How much did your stat cost you, Cyborg? You said that you bought it and put it together cheap. How cheap is that stack? What we talking, like £30, less than that? Because Johnny Russell's quite cheap as well. Like he's £3. And then Shalhoub, well, Pulido's probably a little bit more than Johnny Russell. There we go, £5.69. I'd expect Shalhoub to be kind of wedged in between Pulido and Johnny Russell. He's actually more. He's a lot more. Oh my God. Shalhoub's great, but I didn't realize he was that expensive. Wow. Not a good time to buy Daniel Shalhoub at all. He's probably that value because of his recent sales. But then he's on the market for 12. Oh dear. Don't get me wrong, like this guy is great, but it's actually a lot for him. I think. Probably less, around 20. So what's your team then? What's the team of 5 that you put together? Setup68, what a legend. Thank you so much for the sub, man. The 40 months, in fact. Incredible support. Absolutely incredible. So thank you for jumping in. And how is everything going? So you have Melia, Fontas, Eric Tommy, Pulido, and Hollingshead from LAFC because I already had him. Yeah, it's a good player to have. Oh, you have to have Russell, man. Yeah, you have to have Russell. If you have like a Sporting KZ, predominantly a Sporting KZ stack, you need to have Russell. Yeah, You need to. And especially given the fact that he's quite cheap as well. Where's he gone? Especially that he's like £3. That's really good. It's really, really good. I actually had him a few months back. Where is it? There we go, look. So I bought him back in September for £4.77. And I kid you not, at the time, I thought that was a bargain. I actually thought that he wouldn't go much cheaper than that. The fact that he's now £3, I think is incredible. Because he's on the free kicks as well, isn't he, Russell? And I think he takes the pens too, no? From memory. And what's great with him is that even the scoring's very, very good. Because when he's doing that, you know that all he needs is one decisive, and he's then going to be hitting you a score of 80, 70, 80. So he's doing all the right things. And then we know the decisives will come. Yeah, you should get him. You should really get him, man. Like, yeah, don't even think about it. Just pick him up. You got screwed by the K-League goalkeeper roller coaster this weekend. Oh no. How? Do we even want to know? This is the reason. One of the main reasons why, like, you guys might notice it. If I go into my gallery, I don't have any Asia players in my gallery. And the reason for that is because I am not dealing with the constant DNP rotation roller coaster that happens in Asia every single season without fail. Where we go here, All-Star, then Asia. Yeah, I have, look, these 5 players here that, you know, this one's not even covered. Go or Goo, I've had for a while just because he was really cheap at 59p. And then I bought this rare recently because he was also really cheap and he doesn't play. But this was one of the first players that I ever bought on Sorare. So I kind of wanted to have a bit of a nostalgic purchase. And yeah, for £2, why not? But I don't actually run Asia players. I don't run an Asia lineup. I've done it in the past before and I absolutely hated it. I hated it a lot. How long will the Premier League in-season stay in Sorare? It will stay until the end of the season. And then when it's the new season next year, well, not next year, but, you know, like in August, there'll then be a new in-season competition. Hello also to Ath Wallace as well. Just seen your message in the chat, so thank you for jumping in, man. Haven't managed to catch your live stream for a while. How are you doing? Pretty good, man. Thank you for jumping in. How is everything going for you as well? Seal, Daegu, and Suwon all went with other starters. Then the 70 to 80% goalkeeper can play sharper. Yeah. It's a minefield, though, isn't it, Sanab, when it comes to Asia, especially goalkeepers. And you know that with our experience having the whole Nagishi, Murakami issue that we had like a year ago. And then I even bought, I bought like an under 23 goalkeeper who I think was playing for Seoul, actually. But then he got dropped. And then I also bought another young Japanese goalkeeper that then also got kind of not dropped, but rotated out. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. I don't see the value unless you really love Asian football. I don't see the benefit of playing Asia football on Sorare, because what you end up doing is you end up playing for rewards, which in my opinion are not better or not even as good as the rewards you get in like All-Star, America, Europe. Yet the risk that you have on your lineups is significantly higher. So if I'm going to take that risk, like if I'm going to take a higher risk with my lineups where I know that I'm covering players in leagues that have higher risk of rotation and DMPs, right? Then I don't mind doing it if it means that there's just a bigger prize pool in there and there's a better prize pool in Asia, but there isn't. so that's why I said to everyone last year that I'm done with it, because for me, it doesn't make sense to take more risk for a worse reward, or rewards which are not better for taking a higher level risk. So I think if you really love Asia and you love Asia players, and you won't mind, right? But pragmatically and logically, if you're a type of manager that hasn't realistically covered or followed that league before, then it's probably not worth doing, to be honest with you. That's it. Yeah, Bake. Yeah, Bake. That was him. Yeah, you're right. I couldn't remember his name. This one here. Yeah. So did he play then? No, he didn't play. Yeah. So I bought this guy last year, and I bought him in limited for about, I think it was like £25 or something. And I was kind of happy to sit on him because I think he's a good goalkeeper. But then you know what happened? I'll show you what happened, right? Yeah, look. So I bought him for, okay, to the lie, £20, okay? And I thought that was a pretty good price at the time, back nearly a year ago. And then his price like massively shot up. And so technically what I should have been doing is I should have been selling him for like £30, right? 30, 35. But then his price started to drop really quickly, almost for no reason. And it spooked me. And so I was like, okay, I don't want to have a situation where this guy just reduces down to like £5 or something, or £3. So I ended up cutting my losses and selling him for £17. And then, of course, lo and behold, not long after I sold him, he then shot up massively to 45. So it was a disaster, really, for me. Like in terms of like the market activity. Now he is actually worth £5.70. So I still don't really regret selling him, even if I sold him for a little bit of a loss and I couldn't sell him for a profit. But I had a feeling that his price was going to end up being like this at some point, and I didn't want to lose a lot of I didn't want to lose a lot of money on him. That's simply what it came down to. Like I was happy to hold on to him with the way things were going in Sorare in the market like a year ago, was that it was not paying off for people that wanted to sit on youngsters. It just meant that you'd pay a lot for a player, or not even a lot, but you would just know that like their price would completely fall off a cliff and reduce to zero. And that's pretty much what's happened. Wow. Look at Ragnar Ake here. Actually, Ake, but I like to call him Ake. Oh my god, he got a hat trick for Kaiserslautern, a team that are most likely going to get relegated because they've been shocking. He scores a lot. He scores a lot of goals. Actually, this guy, given that he doesn't start too often. But look, in the starts he has, he's very good. He's very effective. A little bit expensive though. I tell you what I want to do. I would like to look just purely at under 23s, I think. And then let's focus on under 23s that have done good in the Bundesliga. No, actually, I don't want to do the Bundesliga. I quite like to sniff around for Belgium Pro League and Eredivisie. I think especially with the new format as well. Well, look, we've got an arena ticket to claim. Woohoo! This game mode is so trash right now, honestly. I'm just collecting tickets and not doing anything with them. I mean, technically, I should be, you know, playing the Man City, Man United one, but again, don't see the point in doing it. Let's quickly bring up the new format. I didn't see it. I heard about it, though. Yeah, I heard about it. I need to check it out after this stream. I was telling everyone earlier that I've been, like, mad busy in a good way, because there's lots of things going on behind the scenes on the channel. And from this week, I'm going to start to upload videos to YouTube as well, like one video a week. So I've just been kind of getting ready for that and preparing for that. Here we go. Oh, that's the crappy picture, isn't it? It's actually on the other one, isn't it? This one here. Here we go. Here we go. This is what I wanted. Yeah. Because when I am thinking of this new format, I've already got a ton, and I mean like a ton of players that are in contender. And this arguably is going to be one of the most competitive tiers to be in, given the amount of leagues that are covered here. I think this is quite a good league to target, to try and almost start there and then move into champions. But I don't have a lot of MLS. I quite like Eredivisie and Belgian Pro League, and I've got a couple of Turkish players already. So I quite like still scouting the Turkish and the Eredivisie. So why don't we have a little look, not at the Bundesliga, but at the let's look at the Eredivisie first of all. Why can I not unselect that? There we go. Okay, so how many have we got? Okay, we've got a load of players down here that not really worth looking at the moment based on their performance this weekend. Sugawara's there. He's very good. We know him. Bart van Rooij. Oh, did he? Bart van Rooij got an assist. Of course, Bart van Rooij got an assist when I've sold him recently. Yeah. He almost needs a move to a different club. But I don't think he's necessarily going to be able to get it. Kenneth Taylor. Vivaldo Semedo. Wow. Look at this from Joral Hato. Wow. That's a good score. And he's been playing bloody well this season. He's only 17. Only 17. Mental. He's already scoring better than a lot of experienced defenders. Yeah, sure, he's playing for Ajax, right? So you'd expect any kind of young player for Ajax to score well, but he's still got to deliver as a defender. And when he's doing that level of scoring as a 17-year-old, that cannot be sniffed at. He's really expensive, and you'd expect him to be, because he's a 17-year-old. What's the deal with him, actually? It's worth 22 million. Okay, so he's got the contract until 2025. I mean, based on how he's playing, you have to say there's surely got to be some European clubs that are sniffing around for him. Arsenal were one of them in February. I could actually imagine him at Arsenal. That's very much an Arsenal type player to target. Let's bring his stats up here on SofaScore. He's making a load of tackles per game, a load of interceptions per game. And look, again, look, he's making almost the same amount of joules that the Russian guy was that we were looking at earlier. And he's only 17, and he's got a very good win rate with those as well. This is the type of beastly defender that managers should be looking at, because this is like a defender that really defends and loves defending. It also helps, of course, that look at the amount of touches he's having per game, because he's playing for a team that play high possession football. If he moved to a different club that was not so possession based, then his scoring would take a bit of a hit. But he's so accurate with his passing as well. Look at that. Wow. This is a very good season for him. Last season was promising because he played 11 and he showed like glimmers of potential. But now that he's getting a run, and he's showing it as well, isn't he? With a score of 78 there, 89, 100 here. Wow. Definitely a good one to target maybe in the off-season. Managed to finish third in Rare America last weekend and won a Galice. Had a chance at first until Albert assisted Messi towards the end of their match. Did you line up Galice then? In the lineup this weekend? Because that probably didn't end very well. I was going to say, this is the Russian, by the way, we were looking at earlier. I didn't even see what Galice scored, but I just assumed it was awful. Yeah, it was. Calendar's had a very good start. I really don't rate this goalkeeper too much, if I'm honest with you. But look at the last 3 games for him. I mean, that's incredible. He actually played fairly okay last season as well. Just didn't really deliver a lot of scores of 60 points or more. But this season, it's like they've wiped the slate clean and they've just said, okay, this is the season where we're going to try and go for it. And that you can tell they've done a lot of work defensively, because previously they were struggling for clean sheets, right? And then in the last 3 games, they've only conceded 1, which is brilliant. He's been showing some promise recently. Good AA as well from a youngster, especially a forward card too. What happened to Victor Edvardsen? We might as well look at that now. What happened to him? At the moment, I can't see anything here. What's this here? Ah, okay. Victor Edvardsson not only became a father this week, but was also ill. He wanted to play, was tested this morning, but turned out not to be fit enough. That's why he was missing. Okay, useful. So there's nothing we could have done on that. He failed a last-minute fitness test. He's probably ill because he's just had a kid. He's probably not getting any sleep at all. He's probably run down to crazy. Hopefully he's back for the next game though. Who do they have next? Why can we not see this? I wish that you'd be able to see this here. Oh, they've got PSV. Okay, it's horrible. And then after that, it's a little bit better because then they have Heracles, Excelsior. Sure, that's horrible too. But then they've got Almere, Utrecht. Yeah. Hopefully he's back for these two games. I don't mind actually if he misses this one, but I want him back for these two. Looks like Go Ahead scored quite well. God, Lang got 88.6. That's really good. Tengsted with 70.5. Neuber, I nearly picked up in the rare a few days ago just because he's so cheap at £3.80. And I think that's actually pretty good scoring for Threshold. But yeah, I also don't need another defender, so I didn't do it. That's the thing with Sorare. There's a temptation to just keep spending when you don't need to. And I could have spent it, but I held back. Let's look at the... Well, Santi was for NEC, isn't he? Yeah. I know about this guy. He's pretty good, actually. Let's have a look at the Belgian Pro League, I think. Jupiler Pro League. Maxime doing what he does best, okay. Alan Minder with a score of 69.5 and a goal. Ooh, Felipe Augusto got a goal here. That's quite good to see. So this youngster came over from Brazil. I've kind of been keeping an eye on him because his L15 is quite low at 27. He's not really been starting, but recently he has. So I've just been wondering when he's going to get his first goal, and he got it. There's a potential here for this guy. So keep an eye on him. This guy done very good too, didn't he? He's only £7 in his rare. Wow. Jesus, look at that. Came on for 1 minute, scored a goal. Came on for 6 minutes, scored a goal. Gotta say, he's due a start based on the back of that. If you're the manager, you're seriously thinking about giving this guy a start based on those two performances there. And especially this one. This one was critical because it looks like he got the winning goal. He did, yeah, he got the winning goal. So a super sub at the moment that could end up getting some starts eventually. Silmani doesn't really look like he's been doing a lot. No. So it looks like they're playing Silmani just off his reputation and his name alone right now. Whereas the youngster that we're just looking at, has he gone? This guy here, Bafdili, he's really cheap, isn't he? Like £1, £7 in the rare for a 19-year-old forward, well, midfielder, sorry. But he's starting to hit some good scores. Really good. Definitely worth thinking about this guy. It looks like he's still largely at the cheapest he's ever been. So this player, I'm pretty sure is a player that a lot of people don't really realise. They haven't noticed yet. Worth keeping an eye on. Okay, Kaspar is good. Kaspar, where did he used to play before? Okay, Helsinki, yeah, okay. I'm not totally sold on him at the moment. I know of him. I've been checking him out every now and then this season, and he has hit some really good scores, right? I think it's just a difficult player to talk about because of the lack of game time, and you never know when he's coming in, right? So he's very much one of those under 23 players where you basically buy him for the future. At £1, he's a really good pickup for the future. In limited, anyway. I don't think you want to be spending £15 on him on the rare, although, again, he's only 20 and he's got the potential to hit some really big scores. But I think if you could get him for less than 10 in rare, that's probably the way to go. Because he does do well. But when you look at the starts he's had, he's averaging 52.2. His decisive score average is 46.3, which is high. That's really high. And in the 15 starts he has had for Union St. Gilles, so USG, 6 goals and 2 penalties won. So he's very effective in the starts that he has, but he just doesn't start enough. It's good that he scored 80 on the weekend. Really good. All right. Guys, give me some more players that you think we should be looking at that have also done well this weekend. Now it's over to you. Hello also to Connor. How you doing, man? Oh, Keki Top got an assist there. Probably from the bench. Yeah, from the bench, yeah. So glad I sold this guy for £40 because he's now 25. You know what? I haven't looked at any of my Pooky scores at all. What's the Villarreal score? 5-0. Oh damn. Soloth with a hat trick. Danny Parejo having a monster game at the moment from the looks of it, with 3 assists there. Wow. Probably a perfect score of 100 knowing him. Yeah, there we go. What did you put for that game, Connor? What did you put for the Villarreal game? Let's go back here. 1-1. Why did you put 1-1? I would have put Villarreal to win. I definitely wouldn't have put 5-0. But if Villarreal at home against Granada, I would have backed them to win that. I probably would have done something like 2-1 though. 2-1 or 3-1. Definitely 5-0 is a shock. You thought that was a draw? I mean, they have been drawing a lot. So, and they've been drawing a lot of 1-1, so I get it. And they had a 0-0 in here. That's probably what you were looking at, right? We don't have any. Oh, we haven't got any 3-2s in the USA League, so I think we're going to miss out here. God, we're 70th, which is actually not too bad, given that we've been kind of crappy at predicting. And then we didn't get we did get a 3-2, but we got a 3-2 the other way round. We kind of wanted the 3-2 at home. I think if we'd have got that correct, then we might have been quite high up in this league. Okay. What players, guys? We're looking for players here. What players have surprised you, or have you discovered this weekend that you think are good for us to talk about on the stream? This guy done well, coming in and hitting 2 goals there for Schalke. Yeah, we just talked about Ake. We just talked about him. Yeah, how he scored, what was it, 2 goals? Was it 2? A hat trick, actually, yeah. Yeah, I mean, they've been so bad, Kaiserslautern, and then all of a sudden they hit this monster score. It's about time they've done it because they've been so bad. Yeah. Thing is, though, even though they won 3-0, a lot of the players didn't actually score that good, right? I mean, Apoku with 48.1, Redondo with 35, Aloch with 45, 52, 55, 50. It's almost like if you didn't have these guys here down the middle, then kind of would have struggled a little bit. And you almost need to have these exact 5, look, to then get a really good score from a really good performance. All right. All right, guys. There's like an hour until the match starts, but I'm actually gonna end the stream because I'm not feeling that good actually. So yeah, I'm gonna end it. Got a little pain in my heart, in my chest, not my heart, but in my chest, and also feeling a bit like I've got some nasty headache coming on. So yeah, we're gonna end the stream here. And then yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. We're back tomorrow at 12 p.m. So sorry we're not doing the watch along today, guys, but thank you for jumping in. And yeah, I'll catch you hopefully tomorrow if I'm feeling much better. Good luck with the rest of your teams as well. And yeah, Have a good remainder to your weekend. Catch you on the next one, guys. Thank you very much.